Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am your host, Charles. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Civic Children TV. Back at it for a brand new video. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I have 8 stories for you guys. 8. And our story title is called Top 10 Today's Date, and then Top 10 Sad Stories. So I'm at top 8 sad stories. I'm sorry, top 8 sad stories. So let's get straight into it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Toddler is found dead inside an alligator mouth. A father is charged with murder after his son is found dead in an alligator's mouth. A man in St. Petersburg, Florida was charged with first-degree murder at Friday after his son body was found in the mouth of an alligator. The 2-year-old Taylor Mosley was declared missing Thursday, the same day his mother, 20-year-old Prashon Jefferson, was found stabbed to death in her apartment at about 2:30 p.m., police said. Taylor Mosley's father, Thomas Mosley, 21, has been arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of Taylor and Jeffrey. Local and federal authorities searched local creeks and ponds and found Taylor's body Friday in Lake McGuire after someone reported seeing someone in the alligator's mouth. Seeing something in the alligator's mouth. The alligator was killed to retrieve Taylor's body. The local medical examiner will determine the child's cause of death. Okay. Number 1, the father is 21 years old. And I always say this on my platform. It is never a good idea to make babies with a child. Okay? It's never a good idea to do that because so many problems could be knocking at your door. And when you 20 years old yourself and laying with a 21-year-old, and you should already know that majority of teens in their 20s are not standing up to be parents. So when you take that risk, it comes with liability. So I ain't blaming the mother per se, but we gotta be more responsible and we gotta think twice of, you know what I'm saying? We gotta think twice about who we lay down with and have children by, because you never know that the person's true character unless you do a background check on this person, and because again, you think this person is cordial until they flip and something bad happens. So father stabbed his girlfriend over 100 times, stabbed her to death. Before that, he killed his son and threw his son in I'm assuming in the water, and then the alligator ended up in the alligator's mouth. You know, it's just whole just it's crazy. And we just gotta do better. We gotta do better. Let's move on. Condolences to the child and the mother, to the father. Life in prison without the death penalty. Florida had Florida has the death penalty and life in prison, with or without parole. Our next story. And the story is back um, on March 24th, 2023. Texas is going to take an L. Father is accused of strangling his daughter on FaceTime because he got into it with his baby mother about a phone as he put up to Walmart and couldn't get the phone. This is the child. Sorry for the lighting. Zavea Flanagan was killed on Monday. Zavea Flanagan, Zavea Flan, a 25-year-old Texas man is accused of killing his 2-year-old daughter during a police chase, and while he was on FaceTime call with the girl's mother. So let's talk about it. This is the idiot right here. Texas mother. Texas mother. Two, 2 years to try for the first time while he was tracking their daughter. The mother of a 2-year-old Texas girl who at 36 was killed by her father said the suspect FaceTimed her while he was choking the child. DeAndre Flanagan allegedly went into a Hills County Walmart store around 10 a.m. Monday after picking up Zavea Marie Flanagan from daycare, Fox Houston reported. Authorities said the girl mother worked at the retail store. The two adults argued and Flanagan assaulted her and took her phone and left with the girl, authorities said. Afterward, he allegedly threatened to harm the child if her mother didn't do as she was told. He just wanted my phone. He's screaming at me, telling me where's the passcode. Tell me the passcode or she's going to get hurt. And I'm telling him the passcode over and over, but I guess it was just not enough. Kristen Watson, the child's mother, told the news outlet. After getting the call, Flanagan took the girl and led 30 on a 30-mile chase, all while hitting cars and driving the wrong way at times, the news reported said. He was eventually arrested when the vehicle came to a stop. The girl was injured and required CPR. My face was just covered in blood. He hit it with something really hard, and then he called me on FaceTime and he showed me. He told me on FaceTime. I said, Trace, that is your daughter. Stop. She loves you. His exact words were, "You only love that man. You did this to her." Watson said. The child was flown to a hospital where she died. Watson said she contacted authorities 3 times about Flanagan, but was told there was nothing they could do. The first day of call, he took my child out. I was giving her a bath, and he took her out of the tub. She wasn't dressed, and he just took her out the house and drove her in a car and didn't bring her back until 11 a.m. the next day, she said. Flanagan faced a murder charge and is being held in jail on a $2 million bail. Okay, number one, the mother stated that previously he took the child out of the bathtub, no clothes on, took her out to the vehicle, drove away, then come back to the next day 11 a.m. If somebody, okay, if you allow a person like that to be around, even if that's your child, if you allow that person to still be around your child, knowing the things he did in the past, tells me that you obviously did not care about the safety and the well being of your child. If you allow man to do this type of damage to your child, you know, previously, then something is wrong with you. And again, we're talking about teens, mother and father, I believe, are in their 20s. I think the father is like 25, the mother got to be like 20 something. 20 something. And we just did a story, first story, and uh, the the father and the mother of the first story teens. It's never good. It's never a safe idea to have children at the age of 20 to 25 because you're not capable and you're not ready. And majority of the time, when things go wrong in that relationship, and you have a child out of wedlock, or you have a child and you don't know who the baby father is, you can end up on paternity court. You can end up on Murray. So you got to think about that. Condolences to the child. This man needs life in prison with no parole or the death penalty. Condolences to Zavea Marie Flanagan. It's a shame that your own father couldn't protect you, and the mother couldn't protect you. We gotta stop failing our children. We have got to. Ex cop Monster Dad Michael Velva testifies she put kids in garage. Killer ex-cop Michael Velva's former fiance admitted at her own Long Island trial Tuesday that she did something evil for his Velva's 8-year-old son into a sub-freezing garage the night before he died. I treated them bad. I treated them evil. I put them in a garage. It was horrible. Yes, I did. I killed them. Angela Paulina, 45, told Suffolk County jurors, referring to 8-year-old Thomas Bubba and his 10-year-old brother Anthony, who survived the torturous ordeal at the Center Merchant's home. Paulina's testimony con- contradicted her own lawyer's earlier assertion that her ex Bu was responsible for the heinous 2020 act. Paulina also admitted that she tried to delete footage of the incident from the family's web of Nest Home surveillance cameras to protect her and River after the fact. He asked me to delete footage. Paulina testified, testified of her former Beau, who was already convicted in Thomas' murder and sentenced to 25 years of life behind bars in December. I did it for him. I did it for myself, she said of Michael Velva. This is the child. Question. Assistant District Attorney Corinne Kelly told the jurors that Paulina, in concert with Michael Velva, acted with deprived indifference. She simply did not care if Thomas lived or died, Kelly said. When Paulina's trial began last week, prosecutors told jurors that she was as guilty of Thomas' death as his father, a 43-year-old disgraced former cop. Little Thomas Velva was pronounced dead at 10:20 a.m. on January 17, 2020, at Long Island's Community Hospital. A paramedic said during Velva's trial after the horrible abuse, child emerged from the freezing garage and stubborn and hit his head, preparing to go to school. Paulina has been charged with second-degree murder and child endangerment. Earlier in her trial, witnesses testified that Paulina would curse and scream at the boy, and the couple would mock him for his autism. On Tuesday, Paulina gazed at the court with sunken eyes hidden by rectangular sunglasses. She sat stone-faced as prosecutors played heartbreaking audio clips of the couple abusing Thomas before he died. At one point, Paulina screamed at Michael Weber when he complained that Thomas was sleeping in the garage covered in his own feces. It's a game. He something for you. He pisses for me. I'm disgusted with both of you planning to talk to him. What can I do if it's scream back? So she was convicted and sentenced to 25 years in prison. I want to say this. Number one, and shout out to AFC because he talked about this on his channel, and I agree with him. They should be getting more time. She should be getting more time in prison alone, on top of the abuse and murder charge. If you make fun of somebody with a health diagnosis, you're not just evil, but you're like wicked. Like it's you're making fun of a child with a health problem, and you first of all you is an adult bullying a child, which makes it 10 times worse. And I think that that alone should get her life in prison. And that ex-cop who swore to the Constitution that he would protect the earth, that badge and that oath meant nothing to him. And I think it's sad that you abuse your own power to abuse a child to the point that you kill him. These people need life in prison. Condolences to Thomas Boba. Whole story is sad. Back on August 2nd, 2022, which was last year, the bodies of three missing Texas siblings are found in a pond. Um, and this is out of Cass County at Atlanta, which is in Texas. So that takes it in. Let's talk about it. The bodies of three missing children were found in a pond in Cass County over the weekend, according to authorities. All three children were siblings who were reported missing Friday night. The bodies were located and recovered Saturday morning by divers after clothing was found in a private pond outside Atlanta, Texas on Saturday. Cass County Sheriff Louis Rowe told Houston 11 News the investigation was turned over to the Texas Rangers, who released a statement Wednesday on the incident. At the request of the Cass County Sheriff's Office, the Texas Rangers are investigating the drowning deaths of three juveniles ages 5, 8, and 9, the statement said. The drowning occurred July 30th around 2 a.m. at a private pond of South Houston 77. The three siblings have been reported missing around 10 p.m. the previous night. This is an ongoing investigation. Additional information will be released when it's available. Texas Parks and Wildlife game wardens, along with Rural Office and Emergency Services with Cass County, were called to look for the children Friday night. Game wardens began the search with canine units around the pond, which was 200 yards away from the home, according to Lieutenant Jason Jones. Close to the pond, we found a pair of tennis shoes right next to the water. Jones told KTBS we had the family members identify that was one of the girls' tennis shoes that was missing. Authorities haven't determined what led up to the their disappearance, but Jones said he speculates that the kids may have just been playing. In the real areas, kids play. Jones said, I'm speculating they're just outside playing and they're missing. Jones said devils were caught and to help after footprints were found in the mud leading into the water. The two bodies were sent off for autopsies. Now, these are the three children that was found there. They're all sisters. If you can see, the names are Zai. Let me see if I can pronounce it. Zai, Uriel, Amaya, Timari. So, again, shout out to AFC. Um, do I think there's more to the story? I'm gonna say yes. And I just don't think children will just jump in water that deep. I do think there's more to the story. I'm not going to speculate with it, but I'm thinking I'm going to bring an update to the story once it's available and once how responsible is brought to justice. It's more to the story, and so I'm going to wait until um, more come out with this story. This story literally happened last year in August, so it's probably going to take some time. But I know there's more to the story, and when it come available, I'll give my update. Condolences to the three children. Now let's talk about a fifth story. A hurt real stepdad is accused of trying to perform an exorcism on his 17-year-old stepdaughter. I'm assuming. Well, I can't find a news article for this story, but the stepfather and the biological mother of the 17-year-old were both arrested after they used abuse punishment of doing an exorcism on a 17-year-old who have disabled problems. Now I want to say this. You know, the church that they was charged with was, I think it was, I don't know, the mother was charged with child abuse, and then the father was charged with child endangerment. No, I think the mother was said with child endangerment. Father was said with child abuse and another charge. I think it should have been multiple counts of child abuse. And speaking of that story, there was 70 plus calls to this resident. 70. So again, we're filling. When we said there was 70 police calls, I'm pretty sure that majority of those calls were about child abuse. I'm pretty sure. And something should have been done a long time ago. The system, our system is failing. Um, we wish the 17-year-old well wishes into the stepfather, into the mother. You know, need jail time. It's not okay. Story happened 8 days ago. It was Zona man who faked his own death was arrested in Salzburg on child sex crimes, police say. This happened back on March 27th, 2023. This is him right here in an orange jumpsuit, if you can see. Louisville, Kentucky. An accused child predator from Arizona who faked his own death was arrested in Salisbury, Indiana, according to police. Christian Allen Wright, 30 years, was found on a felony warrant out of Maricopa County, Arizona. Police said Wright attempted to deceive investigators into believing he had died by driving to a hospital and having acquaintance called his family to tell them he had died, and they would need to collect his personal items for the hospital. The acquaintance who helped Wright posed as a nurse and dressed in scrubs to deceive his family when they picked up his items, according to police. The Arizona Police Department, Jeffersonville Police Department, and Clark County Sheriff's Office started a joint investigation after receiving information about him being in southern Indiana. Wright was found in the Sillinger block of Georgian Avenue in Salisbury, according to police. Clark County Sheriff's Office Assistant Chief Mark Grubb said Wright had been in southern Indiana for about 24 to 36 hours. The Southern Indiana Regional SWAT team arrested right around 5 p.m. Friday, March 24th. The sheriff's office said he cooperated with the arrest. After being doing this for 18 years, it's now for me, especially for this reason. And by some ways, it worked for him. He got out of the area, he got out of Arizona, and came here, and it didn't work here. Grubb said once they figured out, Detectives Division worked tirelessly to get him into custody. Grubb said flat camera is now police found. Grubb said a flat camera is how police found him. The cameras read license plates and come up on police databases. Red is charged with sexual misconduct with a minor, molestation of a child, and 3 counts of the sexual conduct of a minor. He's been held at the Clark County Jail and awaits extradition to Maricopa County. You know, if you help a person who victimized a child and have a warrant for his arrest out for that particular crime, if you help him, quote unquote fake his own death and participate in his foolery. Let me tell you, you can be charged as a willing participant. It's dangerous to be playing games with a person that's accused of a serious crime like this. And so you're putting your life on the line to help this man out. But this man could have got you arrested. Okay? You could be doing jail time. You could be doing prison time. Think about that, people. You can't just go and hope out for somebody because you feel bad for them. They committed the heinous crime against a child, against a minor. And so when you put yourself in that predicament and you put yourself that down that low, into that low category, then you lost respect for not just yourself but the community. You cannot help somebody out like that. This man is a vicious predator, and you see him hope, and you sitting there hoping him out. What type of sense does that make? All I gotta say about this story is I'm glad he's caught. It's like about the Eli Hurt story. February 16, 2023. Eli Hart killing. Mom is sentenced to life in prison for murdering her son. Minneapolis gonna take an aim. Look at her. Eli Hart's mother, Julissa Taylor, has been sentenced to life in prison for murdering her 6-year-old son on May 20, 2022. Taylor was sentenced Thursday, February 16 to life in prison without the possibility of parole after being convicted of first-degree murder. Before the judge handed down her sentence, she said she was innocent and used an expletive and called everyone garbage. Watch in the play of okay, so that's in the play above. Prior to her sentencing, Eli's dad, Tory Hart, and his stepmom, Josie Josephson, both spoke at points dabbing away tears. We now have legal closure on this heartbreaking tragedy, but nothing will ever fill the void in the world that Eli left behind. I hope his family can slowly move forward and eventually find some level of peace. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Murray said in a statement on Thursday. Authorities said Taylor 29 Spring Park shot Eli up to 9 times with a shotgun in a vehicle and then hit his body in the trunk. A rental police put cover over on May 20th, 2022, after she was spotted driving on the rim of a car and had a window smashed out. Officer drove Taylor home and discovered Eli's body in the trunk. She was then arrested. Meanwhile, Eli Hart's father, Tory Hart, filed a wrongful death lawsuit earlier this year related to his son's killing, seeking more than $75,000 in damages. The lawsuit says Dakota County Social Services provided services to Eli with Tory Hart, claiming the county and its employees were negligent. Dakota County and two Dakota County employees, Sherry Larson and Beth Durner, were named in the lawsuit. Tory Hart had been fighting for custody of his son prior to his death. Tory Hart's now wife, Josie Josephson, told Fox 9 the boy's mother struggled with a drug addiction and mental health issues, and despite the repeat calls for help, his biological mother was awarded full custody of Eli before his death. There's an effort to build a memorial playground for Eli and mom to honor the child. Okay. Number one, who shoots their child with a gun multiple times? Number two, and then put his remains in the back of a car. Number three, who rides on rims and then think that the police not going to stop you for riding on rims. See, women don't think, they just do. And so I'm glad this woman is serving life in prison without parole. There's no remorse. And for a person like that, that person do not deserve to be in the same streets as us. She do not need to breathe the same air as us. This person is an epitome to society. And we continue and continue allowing people like this woman to look after our children. And when you on drug, when you dealing with a drug abuse, mental health, all of that, that is not good for the child. And I agree with the father. Social services felt their duties because obviously they didn't do a background check on this mother. They allowed this mother to take contact and take this child in her custody. She needs more than parenting classes. She needs help, and throwing a child at her wasn't the best option. R.I.P. Eli Hurt. Our last story is a story that we already talked about. Victims of Nashville school shooting. These are the teachers and children that were killed in that school shooting in Nashville. If you can see there. So another American community is reeling after a shooter killed three 9-year-olds and three adults at a private Christian elementary school in Nashville. Monday's attack was the deadliest U.S. school shooting in nearly a year, and a 19th shooting at a school or university so far in 2023. That left at least one person wounded, a CNN shows. Police searched for a motive in calculating and planned mass shooting that killed nine in Nashville Christian School. Our community is heartbroken. The Convenient School Ministry of Convenient Pres- Pres- Presbyterian Church said a statement expressing thanks to the responders for the quick response and those showing support for the school. So we're going to talk about the victims and then what they love to do. So Evelyn Dickhouse is first on the list. And it says Evelyn Nine was a light who radiated joy and warmth. Her family wrote in her obituary. Her best friend was her big sister, Eleanor, the family wrote. As quickly as they would disagree about something, they would turn it around with snuggles on the couch, deep talks, laughter, and plans for the next grand adventure. Evelyn, her sister, and her neighbors would participate in skits in the yards. Evelyn would often greet people with wide open arms and infectious laughter, family said. She was passionate about music, crafting, and animals, especially her dogs, Mabel and Birdie. One of Evelyn's most prized possessions was her growing collection of stuffed tigers, all named Tony. Evelyn often had a sly little smile, which could communicate more than words. Her family says she has strong faith in God, and her legacy of showing light and love to others will live on. Her obituary said. Evelyn's funeral will be held Friday afternoon at Woodmount Christian Church. Senior pastor Clay Stuffer said the family asks attendees to wear pink and bright spring colors in honor of Evelyn instead of black. He said. Mike Hale. Hale, 61, was a beloved custodian at the school, police said, and a father of seven children. Known as Big Mike to students, Hale was the members of the facility's kitchen staff, according to the school website. Hale loved to cook and spend time with his family, according to a family statement obtained by CNN affiliate WSMB. He had 14 grandchildren. He would like to thank the Nashville community for all the continued thoughts and prayers as we grieve and try to grasp any sense of understanding of why it's happened. We continue to ask for support. The statement said. We pray for the convenient school and are so grateful that Michael was beloved by the faculty and students who felt him joy for 14 years, it added. Nashville parents set up a GoFundMe page to help support his family in funeral expenses. Per his family, he took great pleasure and found tremendous joy in his job and through those students, the GoFundMe added. Hill absolutely loved his job and his daughter, Brittany Hill, said Monday in a Facebook post. I've watched school shootings happen over the years, and I never thought we'd lose a loved one over a person trying to solve a temporary problem with a permanent solution. She said, I'm so sorry for the loss of those children. Please keep my family in your prayers tonight. Hug your parents and children a little tighter. Catherine Coons. Coons was 60, police said, and head of the school. She attended Vanderbilt University in Tribeca, Nazarene University in Nashville, and got her master's degree from Georgia State University, the school said. Christian music singer Stephen Curtis Chapman and Coons were close friends, he told CNN and the Cooper on Wednesday. Coons was an amazing person whose supernatural power was kindness, Chapman said. She was she was those people that you encounter if you're fortunate enough. They see into your soul and they see something that most people miss and just pass by. He added she just had this ability that God gave her. I believe to see in the heart and the soul and the story of the student, the person she was with. When Chapman and his wife first heard Monday's attack was happening, we knew Catherine was there. We knew she was the head of the school, and my wife even said I know her well enough to know that she was probably doing everything she could to change the story, to stop this thing from happening, to talk to this person, whatever she could do, she said. Coon's life marked our family so significantly, Chapman said, detailing how she had stopped an educator and friend and helped attend and work with his children after his youngest daughter died in 2008 in a driveway accident. When we lost a younger daughter, Maria, in a very tragic way, some well in particular was carrying a very, very heavy weight. Chapman said, adding, Coons became a mentor, a friend, confident. She was all of those things and teacher. As hard and as awful as the story was for us, and Monica Lee also remembered her dedication. She gave her life because she was trying to protect students, protect faculty, Jim Lee said Tuesday. The educator had a great sense of humor and was confident, they said. Combs exhibited humanity and made each person she interacted with feel important, Jim Lee said. She could be on her knees talking to a preschool student, then she could turn around and be talking to a board member, and then turn around and meet with an angry parent, and then turn around and meet with a teacher that is having a bad day, he said. Cynthia Peak. Peak, 61, was a substitute teacher at the school, according to police officials. She's been close friends with the Tennessee First Lady Maria Lee and had been due to visit the Lee home Monday evening for dinner, the governor said. Maria woke up this morning without one of her best friends, Bill Lee said. Cindy and Maria and Catherine Coons were all teachers at the same school and have been family friends for decades. Lee said Tuesday in a video message there will be time to talk about the legislation and the budget proposal we brought forward this year, and clearly there is more work to do. There is hope in the midst of great tragedy because God is a redeemer. What is meant for evil can be turned for good. Maybe we grieve in the days ahead, but not without hope. May we also act with wisdom, discriminate, discernment, and grace, and may we love especially those who have lost, Lee said. Louisiana State Rep Charles Anthony Owen had known Peak in his whole life. He told CNN Eden, her hometown of Louisville, Louisiana, was grieving. She and my sister were the closest friends growing up and seemed like Cindy was around for all my childhood. He said Tuesday in a Facebook post. She and May Ann had birthdays one day apart and her family lived across the street from us for a period of time. Cindy and May were always together. When his sister died, Peak was one of the first faces he recalled seeing on set. She was right here to grieve her old friend. Hallie Scruggs. Hallie Nunn had a love for life that bound bonded through her from her smile to her always on the go spirit. Her aunt said. To watch her these past 9 years have been a gift and a privilege. Curate Owner wrote in a Facebook post, I have often longed for a daughter, and Hallie embodied all of those things I wanted in my own little girl. Hallie and her son Chip were almost the same age and were very, very close, she said. When they were together, no one else existed, and we really know where they were or what they were up to, she wrote. Adding they were usually involved in some sort of mischief. She was incredibly smart, feisty enough to keep up with her three brothers and my four boys. A love for life that kept her smiling and running and jumping, playing, always on the go, she wrote. Anna was on her way to Nashville to be with her brother and sister-in-law, she told CNN. I didn't have the words to address this tragedy. I'm shocked my boys and Adam and I can't even comprehend that she's gone. She wrote, we are grieving so deeply, and for my brothers and sister-in-law and my nephews who are living the most unspeakable nightmare, who are living the most unspeakable nightmare, we heard with you and wish we could take your away. Hallie was the daughter of Covenant Presbyterian Church lead pastor Chad Scruggs, according to a statement by Park City's Presbyterian Church in Dallas, a sister church Scruggs family served. We love the Scruggs family and mourn with them over the precious daughter Hallie. The Texas Congregation's senior pastor Mark Davis said, together we just trust in the power of Christ to draw near and give us the comfort and hope we desperately need. Hallie's funeral will be Saturday at Covenant Presbyterian Church. The school announced adding its assembly funeral information based on each family's wishes. William Kenny. Will Knight had an unflappable spirit. Friends of the Kenny family shouldn't go GoFundMe page. He was unfailingly kind, gentle when the situation called for it, quick to laugh, and always inclusive of others. The page said he loved his sisters, adored his parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles, and was always excited to host friends of every age. Sweet Will knew no strangers. Our hearts are broken for his family as they try to find their way forward, it added. A previous version of the story misspelled Jim Lee's first name. Okay, so my thing is this. We all go through hard times in life, okay? We do. But you would never see somebody shoot up a school with children inside. Like, what was the point? You see what I'm saying? And if you're going through trauma, get help. Don't take it out on school children. It's just I am tired of these school shootings and burying our loved ones or laying children to rest at young ages. And this needs to be a constant reminder that you know we need to talk more about in our schools, more about s- school shootings, how to protect ourselves from that, and how to prepare for something like that, because you don't know the time, you don't know the hour, you don't know the location, you don't know the date. So you just gotta be prepared, because we have people out here that just don't have them all and will do anything to make themselves feel good. Thank you guys so much for watching this particular story. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Have a great week, and happy April 3rd. Peace.